welcome to Trendy Talks. This week we are going to be discussing Sheriff of Nottingham. We recently did a full playthrough and tutorial of this game, so if you haven't seen that yet and you don't know what this is, go ahead and check it out. It's a pretty cool game, but we'll get into that. Typically I'm alright at hidden roll, bluffing, lying games. I don't know what that says about me as a person, but whatever. Games like One Night Ultimate Werewolf, The Resistance, typically have little micro strategies that kind of require a little bit of knowledge of the game and the components that do give advanced players kind of an advantage over newbies. With Sheriff of Nottingham, though, I really haven't found a dominant strategy. You can always bribe to make players want to or not want to look in your bag, but sometimes, eventually players will catch on to that and you'll need to move and adjust your strategy again. Pretty much the overriding, I guess the best advice I can give for Sheriff of Nottingham is that you just have to constantly evolve and stay one step ahead of the groupthink the entire game. And that's really cool because then there is no dominant strategy, at least as far as I can tell. And it's a little bit easier, I think, for new players to get in as long as they're good at lying, which I think is advantageous over games like The Resistance and One Night Ultimate Werewolf, which we do love here. But it just seems that there is no dominant strategy, which can kind of make a game seem a little broken sometimes. Speaking of broken, though, the components. Overall, I do like the components. There's some really cool coins, lots of cards. There's a great deck insert. I love deck inserts. My biggest gripe with the game, though, has definitely got to be the goods bags. See, it's a pretty vital part of the game to be able to snap and unsnap the goods bags. That's really what locks in the sheriff's choice of what they want to inspect or not. Unfortunately, as you can see, sometimes the snaps in the goods bags end up coming off of the top flap, and then it's really, they don't unsnap. Now, I have found a way around this by holding on to both ends of the snap as you undo it, and it's not that bad. But when the most difficult part of a game is teaching fine motor skills, that's, kind of an issue, especially in a bluffing game like this where it shouldn't even be a part of it at all. That being said, I really do like Sheriff of Nottingham. It's a great sort of light game to introduce your friends to. It has a lot of player interaction and backstabbing. And overall, I would give it a 7.5. The game is a surprisingly complex strategy, but it's still very accessible to new players. It has a great box insert, which, yeah, that's always a good thing. The goods bags are very frustrating to deal with. And some players may not be good at lying, and that's really going to be a disadvantage in this game. And while this game may eventually teach players to be better at lying, maybe that's not a skill that we need to necessarily work on. That's probably for each player to kind of work out for themselves, but Sheriff of Nottingham is a great time. I would definitely suggest. Like I said, if you haven't seen our playthrough, go ahead and check it out. And we've got a couple episodes of Subtrendy coming out later this week, the boardroom, as always. And check out for new episodes of the Games Well Show and Set It.